In April and May 2013, the South African Maritime and Safety Authority, in partnership with the Sustainable Seas Trust, embarked on the second Sea Pledge tour around the coastline of South Africa. Volunteers travelled across the entire coastline, hosting and connecting with marine-based activities and events, with a clear goal in mind.
The SAMSA 2013 Sea Pledge Tour was to initiate a program to conserve and to sustain our oceans and coasts, and in particular to have as many people as possible involved in a crusade that not only helps them to live in a better planet, but also helps those who are impoverished and don't have an opportunity to help themselves.
A lot of different and exciting events and activities were lined up during the tour in all of the 17 coastal areas that were visited. The tour kicked off in the vibrant mother city, where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans meet. The Two Oceans Aquarium hosted a lunch before the official launch that was hosted by the Nedbank Trust. A number of dignitaries were present at the event, including the world-renowned oceanographer and SST's patron, Dr. Sylvia Earle.
So here we are, launching the Sustainable Seas Trust trip around the coastline of South Africa. Not the first such voyage of discovery and conveying information, and it won't be the last. But it's really an important milestone in the idea of now we must turn our attention to taking care of the ocean.
An important part of the tour was the various school visits, targeting a very diverse group of learners to educate the younger generation about the importance of taking care of our oceans, providing information on maritime careers that could be of interest to them, and also encouraging them to make personal sea pledges regarding their relationship with the ocean. SAMSA provided each school with lunchboxes and juice bottles after each educational and fun-filled lesson. The Sea Pledge message was reinforced through various conservation activities like beach cleanups. At the Kalk Bay to Muizenberg Beach cleanup, we were joined by 11-time South African freediving record holder Hanlie Prinsloo of the I Am Water Trust.
This next 4 weeks, the Sea Pledge will be travelling from Saldanha to Sodwana, doing beach activities along the way, and our awesome little beach cleanup fits into their project, so we're stoked to have them here.
Plastic bottle, which is really upsetting because it's recyclable, so people shouldn't really be chucking it. Lots of cigarette butts and lots of fishing tackle.
I Am Water collaborated with Salon 91 Contemporary Art Collection to assist in cleaning the rocky shores.
In December 2012, we had an exhibition called I'd Rather Be Swimming. We donated 10% of the proceeds to I Am Water Ocean Conservation Trust, and today we are cleaning up the beaches as a culmination of that exhibition. We raised 20,000 Rand for I Am Water, which is pretty awesome, so thanks to all of the artists and the buyers, and yeah, now we're going to go clean up some more.
In Saldanha Bay, the team met up with many influential and exciting people and participated in the Langebaan Festival, which is an annual event that celebrates the beauty of this magnificent town.
Well, the festival has actually come a long way because they wanted to start, obviously, as you know, Langebaan is a holiday area, and so they decided to put something together with not just the Langebaan, but the community as a whole.
South Africa's freediving champion Hanlie Prinsloo gave an inspirational talk at the Saldanha Yacht Bay Club.
Inspirational, but I'm very excited that I have the opportunity to be here this evening and meet all of you. The West Coast is one of my absolute favourite places.
whether it's driving up to Elands Bay for a surf or hanging out at the Cape Columbine Nature Reserve just to relax. It's one of my absolute favourite things. Through the work I do with I Am Water Trust, we believe that ocean conservation is best practiced through human experience. So when people actually get to see the ocean and fall in love with it, they will want to protect it. And that ties in very closely with the objectives of the Sustainable Seas Trust Sea Pledge Tour, where it's actually around creating a sustainable relationship between the people who live along the coastline and the ocean wilderness. I think we need the ocean as much as she needs us.
Off to Simonstown, where once again Dr. Earl inspired ocean lovers.
Food security is not dependent on the ocean. Food choices, luxury choices. We don't need to eat tuna to survive. We don't have to have lobster dinners in order to survive. It's a choice.
The Sustainable Seas approach of trying to accommodate, finding ways to accommodate the needs of people who live by the sea, and not just physically by the sea, but live by the sea. They have traditionally found their sustenance, their livelihoods, by taking wildlife from the sea. But now there are more people, and now there are other pressures on the ocean that are making it harder for people who live in coastal communities traditionally to follow their usual ways. So Sustainable Seas recognizes that unless we find solutions, find answers, find the ways for these people to make a living, nothing is going to work anyway. It's the only way that we're going to achieve success, to work with people, to get them engaged, to understand that their future really depends on taking care of the systems that in the end take care not only of them, but of the whole world.
Arriving in Hermanus, the focus was once again with school learners, including a group of homeschool children who spoke to the team.
I'll tell you about some of the things that we're doing, and then we'll show you a little bit of film, and then we're going to go down to the rocky shores, where you're going to have to teach me what is happening there and my colleagues.
We've just been at the Whale Museum with all the homeschooled kids from Hermanus. Gave them a talk on SST. Tony explained to them the coelacanth and how SST came to be, and then encouraged everyone to make a sea pledge. And then we've brought all the kids down to the rocky shores, and we've been teaching them about the rocky shores, the impact that humans have, and how they can help and how they can make a pledge to make sure that our rocky shores are sustainable. These kids are very interactive, very excited to learn. We've taken the approach that they're teaching us so we can see what they know, adding our 2 cents in.
And they're really bringing ourselves, Oscar, Valdes, and
plenty shells
and rocks.
We visited learners of all ages and stages, from pre-primary all the way up to high school, and from government to private schools, with fun lessons and activities for all.
So we're from the SST, that's a quick way of saying it, instead of Sustainable Seas Trust. We're the SST. That's what we make sure that there's always going to be fish, the ocean's going to be healthy. This fish here, does anybody know what kind of fish this fish is? What do you think it is?
And then on to Mossel Bay. An interesting fact about this town is that, according to the Guinness Book of Records, it enjoys the second mildest climate in the world, after Hawaii. 3 schools were visited in Mossel Bay by SAMSA and the SST team.
Okay, we're from SAMSA. We're together today with the SST group, going to the schools as they're telling the people about the sea, how they can keep the sea clean. We're very proud to be part of this team today, and so far it's been great.
Learners were given an opportunity to make their own personal promises in the form of a sea pledge.
My naam is Kino Flores. Ek beloof ek sal nooit by papier loop nie.
We promise that we will tell other people that they must keep the sea and the animals safe by collecting the rubbish when it is necessary.
My naam is Steens Voordraai. Ek beloof ek sal nooit see diertjies hier maak nie.
Ons beloof
om die papier op te tel.
Ons beloof
om die omgewing skoon te hou.
Ons beloof
om die see skoon te hou.
Ons beloof
om ons skool skoon te hou.
Ons beloof om papiere te herwin.
I'm very much glad that you came in because I think our kids enjoyed a lot and they have learned a lot about what to teach them. And I think they are going to keep their promises to keep the environment clean.
At the beautiful town of Neisner, which is a natural heritage site and home to the endangered Neisner seahorse, a delicious breakfast was served over debates and discussion on what each and every person should do to protect our oceans.
What we're about is, in terms of conservation issues that we deal with at Sustainable Seas Trust, there was a meeting of scientists when Nelson Mandela was president, and he said to us that if you people are at all serious about conservation, rehabilitation, sustainability, then we need to deal with those issues of poverty, food security, education and skills development.
We do appreciate that you have taken your time to be here this morning to actually support us as we actually continue with our tour.
The day was followed by an educational trip to the beach with the sea cadets on how they can continue to keep their sea clean. This was all organised by the Love Neisner project, which is headed by Mike Hamilton.
Mike got Love Neisner projects and Neisner schools. They websites promoting our town, trying to give information and especially trying to get kids to go on educational trips and co-integrate and experience their own town, because most kids never ever get to see the best things of their own town because they're stuck in poor areas.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Hi, I'm Tanya.
Yeah, and yeah, we were here with the SST and SAMSA. Yeah, to know about learning more about conserving our oceans and everything. It's very interesting topic to learn about it, and yeah, knowing that pollution kills marine life and all that.
On behalf of Plettenberg Bay, as the mayor, I would love to pledge our support, and I would love Plet to become one of the hope spots, because this is so crucial to the sea life out there.
And then off to the beautiful small town of Plettenberg Bay, which is also known as the jewel of the garden route. Here we were fortunate enough to meet with Tony Lubner, chairman of the Orca Foundation.
Orca is really about education, it's about research, understanding what we need to be educated about, and conservation, looking after those animals and habitat in the area in which we live in.
They assisted us with the day and evening events that were lined up.
At Siokula Creche, where we not only feed about 300 kids daily, twice a day, we have a group of fantastically well-trained teachers, fantastically motivated teachers. That is the place to start with not only your preschool education, but also with conservation ideas.
We are held by the Orca Foundation. There are volunteers that are coming all over the world that are coming and help us. But it's very important because they like to go to the ocean. To the ocean, they've got questions that they want to know. Who lives there? What is going on there? So then we have to know that we are not the only people that are living on the earth, that is on the ground. So there are also animals that are living underwater.
Moving on to the Eastern Cape, we began in St. Francis, where there is a Sustainable Seas Trust Centre and SAMSA Centre. We joined forces with the annual St. Francis Run, where we were invited to hand out prizes to the winners. Everyone who attended the talk that night benefited immensely.
SAMSA is part of the pledge, the SST pledge. And for those of you who are around the St. Francis Bay, we will be having an information, a station within this particular center that is talking about awareness. School children can come into the center and we will teach them about marine conservation. Many students don't understand what the sea is all about, so that is what that station will be promoting.
Next, we visited the friendly city of Port Elizabeth. Here, Peter van Ketz, a world endurance adventurer and international conference speaker, gave a talk about his experiences and how people should conserve the ocean.
The conservation of our planet. Organizations like the Sustainable Sea Trust are doing one thing. Their thing is to try and create awareness about the plight of our oceans and what we can do to make sure that our seas remain a sustainable part of our planet, and sustainable for local communities and sustainable for the people that live along our coastline. Even in South Africa, we have a lot of communities that live off fishing along our coastline. And how is it going to be sustainable for these people, and what can we do? With 7 billion people on the planet, it's not sustainable. We're going to have to move some of those communities away from fishing and educate them to do other things.
The team stopped at Kenton and Grahamstown, where the SST offices are located. In Kenton, a beach cleanup was organised, while in Grahamstown, educational activities were planned for the school children. Next stop was East London, where Eleanor Yeld Hutchings, a South African marine biologist and former Shoreline presenter, gave a talk. From the Eastern Cape, we travelled to KZN, stopping first at Port Shepstone and then off to eThekwini. Here, the team split activities. Some of them hosted educational talks with the schools in Durban and the Ushaka educators. Others met up with the Surfers Not Street Children.
Surfers Not Street Children is basically a surfing team, but it's an advocacy team as well. In other words, great surfers, but they also happen to be former street children. And they're committed to ensuring that other kids don't have to go through what they did. And really, being an advocacy team, it's about transforming society's perceptions around street children and therefore treatment around street children.
In the street for me it was very hard because I was going through different things.
Until when the day that I got locked up for crime, like for something that I used to do. And then when I came back and I knew that I wasn't meant to be on that age to get locked up, and I wasn't meant to be on that situations that I wouldn't like. And I knew that some other things that I can do, like to change